Okay, so in a previous video we did this game with the wall and the ball and talking about directing with a chair, and now I want to do it without a chair, going in and out of a squat. So once again, you need a ball about this size, could be smaller, could be bigger, not too heavy, fairly soft, but with enough firmness to support your body. So a football might work, one of these gym balls. Doesn't matter so much, you can experiment. Now I'm going to start with my feet fairly close to the wall, far enough distance so that I'm going to be able to get down into a squat eventually. And I'm going to put the ball right behind my sacrum. That's right behind the base of the pelvis. And once again, I'm going to start doing this thing we call directing, which is a kind of expansion thought through the body. And it's a means of avoiding gripping as you energize your body. So your head stays freely balanced. I'm thinking lengthening up the spine. I think I'm going to start with my feet slightly wide, which is the easiest way to go down into the squat. And important to send the legs into the floor as you release them to the floor. It's a kind of a combination of an energy flow and a release, just so that you don't grip. You're thinking lots of space between the legs, so you're not pulling the legs together. Lots of lengthening down into the floor, coming out of the hip joints. And your spine is going to be going in the other direction. Now when you start, the spine does not have a lot of push on it, so the direction won't be you won't feel it as much, but as you go down, you'll feel it. Okay, here we go. So I'm sending everything away, 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 away. Then I'm letting the knees fold, but I'm not thinking collapse as I let the knees fold. I'm thinking expansion as I let the knees fold. So that at no point do I feel like my body is just falling down. Now here, the quads are working, but I'm trying not to think of pushing. I'm trying to think of away, away, away. No pulling back in the neck, no pulling back in the shoulders. And this is a nice little springy stretch here. Now, when I come up out of this, I'm fairly deep down. Part of my brain is saying, push with the legs. You've got to really activate the quads. So I'm trying to say no to that. And instead think of everything expanding out. Here it comes through the spine, through the legs. Expanding, 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 expanding. There I might have used a little momentum halfway through, like got a little impatient and sort of threw myself up a little bit. You want it to be as smooth as possible. It's a little bit of work, you'll feel it. It's not that you're trying to avoid work, you're trying to avoid gripping. Let's try it once more with the legs a little closer together and the feet further forward. I might not go all the way down. That's a pretty hard workout. You can experiment. You can go halfway down. You can go just a little bit down. You can just sit here and enjoy the feeling of resting against the wall. So my neck, my head freely balanced up here. I don't want to pull in the shoulders, pull back in the head, arch the back. But I don't want to collapse. So everything's expanding. Now I feel myself expanding into the floor. I'm ready to go down. And off we go. And here, I might even stop and say, okay, my legs are working, but I'm trying to think lengthening through the legs, especially the back of the legs, widening in the inside of the legs, up through the spine, up through the spine, up through the spine, out, out, out through the legs, out, out, out through the legs. The body's working, but try not to get involved mentally with the work of the body, so you can keep your attention on the direction. This is a tough one. I want to not think of pushing with the legs. Expanding, expanding, expanding. I'm going to go as slow as I can here. Expanding, 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 expanding. And coming up. Now I feel like I set up a fairly challenging position to start with. So please don't feel like you have to do that. The point is not to make the biggest challenge you can. The point is to start to get that feel of what it means to direct your body into expansion so that you can do something like that without any extra gripping.